The principal, Army Public School Agra, Dr. Rupali Gupta, and Counselor, Army Public School Agra, Ms. Anushka Mona Mittal, present a pilot study on emotional intelligence of Army Public School teachers and its impact on academic resilience and cognitive flexibility. The valiant Indian Army brings challenging times not just to its soldiers but to their families as well. From changing stations every 2 years to changing schools and forming new friendships, children of soldiers who are in active duty experience stressful conditions. In such a scenario, resilience becomes their only power. Amidst such uncertainty, the emotional awareness of a teacher comes as a relief. The paper aims to study the impact of emotional intelligence of Army Public School teachers on the emotional resilience and cognitive flexibility of adolescent students whose parents are serving in the Indian Army. After a thorough review of literature, we hypothesized that teachers who have high emotional intelligence would yield students with high cognitive flexibility and high academic resilience. The independent variable includes the emotional intelligence of teachers at Army Public School who teach classes 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th. The dependent variable includes the cognitive flexibility and academic resilience of students at Army Public School whose parents are serving in the Indian Army. The data was collected using standardized tests. The participants include teachers teaching classes 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th and all students from classes 9 to class 12. The analysis of data was done using the regression model and it shows a negative trend in the relationship between the emotional intelligence of a teacher and the academic resilience and cognitive flexibility of the student. The results of the present study can be attributed to various extraneous variables such as social desirability, acquiescence, and inadequate testing conditions. The findings of the present research call attention to the educational societies for creating changes at the policy level for implementation of trauma-informed practices in order to foster an inclusive and resilient environment.
Diversity is an umbrella term that covers heterogeneity from a range of different social ethnic backgrounds, gender, sexual orientations, physical deformities, obesity, underweight, etc. The paper outlines points that help enlighten dynamics and conditions that lead to exclusion, that is, peer victimization, rejection, friendlessness, bullying, body shaming, ragging, etc. Acceptance among peers is of prime importance. Therefore, proactive practices has to be implemented which can radiate student bonding and enhance social inclusion. A greater emphasis on inclusive strategies must be included in teacher education and professional development program to fortify teachers' understanding of promoting social inclusion in classrooms and school as an ecosystem. Social inclusion is the practice of improving the terms on which individuals and groups take part in society, improving the ability, opportunity, and dignity of the disadvantaged on the basis of their identity. Through social inclusion, a more happy and healthy human questionnaire which had close and open questions. The questionnaire had been configured in 3 main sections which focused on inclusive practices, the impact of the implementation of inclusive practices and enablers and barriers to develop inclusive practices. Their answers were analyzed in a sample of 200 teachers from primary and secondary schools. The data source was used as a part of methodology in order to scrutinize in what sense schools are inclusive.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed a distinct privilege to introduce our papers on the topic, A Roadmap to Resilience, Counseling Interventions for Strengthening Parent-Adolescent Bonds, to all of you today. I am Supriya Amol Adolkar, representing Jindal Mount Literacy School in Raigad, Maharashtra, and I am honored to be one of the authors presenting our research. Joining me in this presentation is the esteemed Mrs. Lily Roy, Principal of Jindal Mount Literacy School. Thank you for your attention, and we hope you find our presentation both informative and inspiring. Adolescence, typically spanning from ages 10 to 19, is marked by significant physical, emotional, and social changes. Challenges during adolescence. Adolescence is a critical phase of human development characterized by rapid physical, emotional, and cognitive changes. It is a time of exploration, identity formation, and newfound independence, but it can be a period of heightened conflict and tension between parents and their adolescent children. This roadmap offers a multifaceted approach to counseling interventions for enhancing parent-adolescent bonds and, in turn, fostering resilience. It comprises several distinct components: case studies and success stories. These case studies and success tales offer compelling illustrations of counseling intervention implementation and the difference they have made in the lives of parents and teenagers. Real-life examples of successful counseling interventions. Professionals working with teenagers and their families will find this roadmap invaluable, primarily due to its emphasis on personalized approaches and the incorporation of real-life examples. Illustrations of practical application. The incorporation of real-life case studies and success stories has illustrated the practical applicability of these counseling interventions, inspiring hope and motivation for families seeking to improve their relationships. Thank you, everyone.
Hello friends, I am Venkat RP representing Indira Gandhi School, Hosdurga, Karnataka. Part of the NEP 2020 to focus on holistic development and of students, which includes the cognitive and social emotional development. Here in my topic, causes of suicide, statistical information, methods to prevent and how to help them. In my statistical data of the third slide says that it is, when we observe that 8% of the students are committing for the suicides. Maybe causes are family problems, mental illness, marriage of issues, love affairs, financial issues, failure in examinations. And maybe sometimes the parents can expect their unrealistic expectations of their children future careers. Prevention of suicide. In this case, we observe that identification, investigation and implementation. Identify warming up signs and killing themselves and also anxiety of the behavior, feeling of the hopelessness, the sudden calm happiness, such kind of things when we observe, when we have to identify that, then we have to investigate the people whether they are in prior suicide attempts or mental disorders or family history of the suicides or any sexual abuse. Implementation is, test is very important role. Talking with them, keeping them safe, be there and help them connect and stay unconnected. And even we observe that suicide prevention day is on 10th of September every year. Prevention is better than cure. Based on this concept, some of the organizations like American Foundation Suicide, International Association Suicide Prevention, and also USA of Suicide Prevention Action Network, and one like teacher can play an important role because of teacher is a Brahma, Vishnu, Ishwar, and Matru Deva Bhava, Pitru Deva Bhava, Acharya Deva Bhava. According to that, third role of the teachers. Teachers provide the power of education to today's youth, thereby giving them the possibility of a better future. Thank you all from Mr. Venkat RP, Principal, Indira Gandhi School, Hosdarga, Karnataka.
A huge percentage of students today struggle to fit in their immediate social surroundings and are unable to express their feelings. Hence, to address the immediate need, Manodarpan Cell of NCERT conducted a mental health and well-being survey of school students in 2022. It shows that students confront socio-emotional demands in their personal, social and academic lives. Thus, survey recommended to address and nurture students' mental and emotional well-being by fostering enabling conditions of trust, care and inclusive practices. We will be sharing with you glimpses of few strategies to build a socially and emotionally strong school community. It is the responsibility of each teacher to monitor and observe signs of emotional distress or social exclusion among students. Hence, teachers' preparedness through training program is essential. Children express themselves through play-based pedagogy and assessments such as role plays, storytelling, interacting with peers and engaging in imaginative play provides an insight into their emotional well-being and their social engagement. Peer Educator Program acts as a rapid antigen tool to identify if any student is struggling with any socio-emotional issues. The nominated peer educator leads the program via discussions, pep talks. For sound, mental, social and emotional well-being, it is necessary that one is at peace. Activities covered under these programs and clubs promote inner consciousness and allow students to take right decisions. It is utmost important to keep parents in the loop about the well-being of students. This is achieved by extensively involving parents through orientation programs and other school activities. Sensitive themes like anti-bullying, Cyber Jagrukta Divas, World Mental Health Day are marked to raise awareness and self-esteem of the students. Setting up a career and counseling cell, nurturing both personal and academic development of our students and preparing them for the challenges of life is very essential. Thus, a career and guidance cell aids students to explore their interests and potential to make finer choices. Such practices open the channel of communication and gives confidence to students to reach out for help if needed.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Balvikas Tiwari from DAV Public School, Baryatu, Ranchi, presenting in front of you my research paper onto the topic Promotion of Social Inclusion. To matter a case for why social inclusion matters in KG 2 plus 2 schools, I started this paper by briefly reviewing the educational cost, that is academic disengagement, lower grades associated with peer victimization, social rejection and friendlessness. Relying on multiple theoretical frameworks and concepts, I then identify reasons why different groups of students like boys and girls, different ethnic groups are not necessarily socially integrated, and why particular students like sexual minorities and students with overweight are at higher risk for peer victimization and social isolation than others. That is, I describe the challenging peer dynamics that easily unfold organically unless they are disrupted. In the next section, I address environmental reasons for lack of social inclusion by reviewing commonly implemented organizational and instructional practices in K-12 schools, that is academic tracking, resource room, etc., that highlight different and separate groups of students. Following analysis of problematic school practices, I discuss ways to facilitate social inclusion in school setting. Based on theories and empirical evidences, specific practices are suggested in built-in preventions.
Taking care of your mental health is an act of self-love. I feel delighted to share my presentation on the topic Importance of Mental Health and Well-being for Students, where I am sharing the best practices of my school, which includes yoga in their academic curriculum. Mental health and well-being are critical aspects of students' life that can significantly impact their academic success, personal growth, and overall quality of life. Academic performances, academic pressures, deadlines, and exams can lead to stress. High stress levels can hinder concentration and memory. Vajrasana, Balasana releases you from racing thoughts and anxiety to some extent. Improve cognitive function. Good mental health supports better cognitive functions such as problem solving and decision making. Reduced anxiety can enhance learning and retention. Vrikshasana, Padahastasana, energizing the nervous system, increases blood flow to parts of the brain, further improves concentration and memory power. Personal growth and development, emotional regulation. Students with good mental health can manage their emotions more effectively. This leads to healthier relationship and personal growth. Bhujangasana, Vadakoasana, calms a scattered mind, soothes and comforts, reduces stress, promotes the feeling of releasing emotions. Resilience, the process of adapting well in the face of adversity, trauma, tragedy, threats. Meditation, alternate nostril breathing, parasympathetic nervous system, which elevates anxiety resulting from fight or flight responses. Practicing this routinely builds up a resilience to stress over time as one widens their window of tolerance. Mental well-being fosters resilience in the face of challenges. Resilient student bounce back from setbacks and adapt to change. Yoga encourages self-awareness and emotional regulation. It helps students to manage negative emotions and boost self-esteem. Peer support. Students can support each other by fostering an empathetic and non-judgmental environment. Encourage peer-led well-being initiatives. Access to counseling. Schools should offer access to mental health professionals and counseling services. Early interventions can prevent more significant issues. Adho-mukta Savasanas. These are very important, relieves tension and stress. It is essential for education institutions and students themselves to prioritize mental health, reduce stigma, and create a supportive environment where students can thrive academically and personally. By embracing mental health and well-being, students can navigate their educational experiences with resilience, success, and overall happiness.
Namaskar. This is Deepthi Sharma, Principal Pragyan Public School, Jewar, presenting my paper on an educational journey to promote mental health and well-being for school students under the theme Guidance and Counselling and sub-theme Upholding Mental Health and Well-being. The review literature outlines a diverse set of activities such as mindfulness and gratitude to bolster students' emotional resilience and mental toughness, ultimately leading to improved attendance and grades while reducing psychological distress. Objectives of this research are to identify potential mental health concerns early and provide appropriate intervention, to encourage students to engage in regular physical activity and develop healthy habits to improve their physical well-being, to teach students coping strategies, stress management, and emotional regulation skills, to create an inclusive and empathetic school environment, to offer a safe space for students to seek help and talk about their feelings. Following are my research variables which are connected with weekdays: Mindful Monday, Thankful Tuesday, Wellness Wednesday, Thoughtful Thursday, Forgiveness Friday, Social Saturday, and Soulful Sunday. For this research work, 300 students from grade 6 to grade 12 are taken as a sample out of 2,250 students of Pragyan Public School, Jewar. In this research, various tools are used like focus groups, students' feedback, observation notes, theme-wise activities, observations recorded in numbers as per rubrics, intervention plan to implement this action research. Theme-wise activities for all the 7 days of a week are planned. For each week, different themes are designed. These themes are rotated class-wise so that the students could take benefit from these activities to develop mental health and well-being. This action research has shown promising results. Students have exhibited improved psychological well-being, including increased self-esteem and mindfulness. These activities have contributed to better school attendance, academic performance, and reduced psychological distress. Additionally, fostering gratitude and forgiveness has strengthened interpersonal relationship and created a more positive school environment. Possible uses of this research in other schools. This research outlines a series of practical activities and interventions that a school can adopt to support students' mental health. This study implements a comprehensive wellness activities calendar and incorporates mental health education into the curriculum. So, at the end, I must say, your mental health is just as important as your physical health. Thank you.
A very good day to the August gathering. I am Dr. Mrinalini Anand from MG World Vision School, Muzaffarnagar, UP. My research paper delves into the multifaceted domain of social inclusion in school environments, aiming to provide a comprehensive understanding of its significance, strategies, challenges, and broader implications. I thank the reviewers for giving me an opportunity to share my experience and learning on social inclusions in schools. I have endeavored to encapsulate my learning in a short video. By implementing these strategies, MG World Vision School creates a culture of social inclusion, peer support, and collaboration, ensuring that all students feel valued and connected within the school community. Incidents of bullying and exclusion have decreased significantly. Students report feeling safer and more welcomed at school. Academic performance has improved as students collaborate and help each other. A sense of belonging and community is fostered among students. Overall social inclusion in schools aims to create a nurturing and supportive atmosphere where every student has the opportunity to thrive academically and socially, while celebrating and learning from the rich tapestry of human diversity. The slides that are following in the video will give you a fair idea of how we have been ensuring our inclusion in the school. By combining an individualized approach to inclusive education with a strong zero tolerance policy against discrimination and bullying, the school can create a supportive environment where students like Sahil can thrive while fostering a culture of respect and inclusion. By implementing these inclusive teaching practices, we can create an environment where students like Siddhi feel welcome, supported, and able to fully participate in the educational experience. Remember that inclusive education is about meeting the diverse needs of all students, regardless of their abilities or disabilities. Now let's check out some challenges faced in an inclusive setup. The school has created an environment where students and staff thrive. The strategies and initiatives implemented by the school can serve as a model for other educational institutions looking to promote diversity and inclusivity. I have had the proud privilege to disseminate my learnings with my peers and colleagues here at this illustrious platform and hope that these inputs will go a long way in promoting an inclusive culture in schools. I thank you CBSE for the opportunity and a big thank you to COE Guwahati for the impeccable arrangements. Thank you audience for being with me. Thank you all.
Hello everyone, my name is Mohammad Zabir Rahman. I am the principal of 100 Flowers Higher Secondary School in Imphal, Manipur. My presentation is on influence of principals, leadership styles on the learning style of students. Content, introduction, leadership styles identified by Kurt Lewin. According to him, there are 3 types of leadership style. Learning styles. According to him, there are 4 types of learning style: diverging, assimilating, conversing, and accommodating. Review of related literature, rationale of study. The source of relationship between the principal's leadership styles and the learning style of students can be the basis of understanding the high or low achievement of the school and also the anxiety level of the students in the school. In objective number 1, I have to find the principal's leadership style. I conducted the case study 3 years back. At the time I was not the principal. And objective number 2, I have to find the learning styles of students of class 6. And objective number 3, I have to find the relationship between the principal's leadership style and the learning style of students of class 6. Hypothesis, method of study, identification. So in the finding, we found that the principal's leadership style is flexible and the learning style of students of class 6, there is no distinct difference among the learning style of student, and it is found that the conversing learning style is negatively correlated to that of the principal's leadership styles. In conclusion, the principal's leadership styles may be negatively or positively correlated. It can be changed, molded, and the principal leadership styles can change the learning styles. When the learning style of student is desirable, then the learning outcome will be better. Also, the performance of the students will be better. Students will have less anxiety regarding studies. There will be happy learning and fun learning. Thank you.
Greetings one and all. This is Lakshmi from Unison School, Hyderabad. My topic is students' perspective about school counseling. All the researchers have yet to prove the positive support given by school counselors. Data suggests that they have a favorable impact on students' emotional well-being. But in reality, are the student counselor services being used by the students? This is the question that made this survey happen of why very few students are approaching the counselor. In a poll conducted by Arulmani in 1993, only 5% of school principals thought counseling was crucial in schools. When the same poll was conducted in 2000, 95% of school administrators believed that it was important and very urgent need. Studies consistently showed that teenagers frequently prefer to handle difficulties on their own rather than seek expert aid. The main purpose of this study is to explore students' attitudes about school counseling services and mental health. The second objective is to raise awareness about the advantages of counseling. The study is conducted at Unison School, Hyderabad on 167 students of class 8, 9, 10. A questionnaire was developed with questions on misconceptions and beliefs on counseling and mental health. From the analysis of the responses of the students, we found that 56% students have clarity on what counseling is and what the counselor's role is, whereas 23% students have wrong beliefs and misconceptions of the counseling and mental health, whereas 21% children have uncertainty about it. From the findings, we can conclude that school counseling services are not being utilized to a full extent due to lack of awareness and false beliefs. Coming to the recommendations, raising awareness about advantages of counseling, sensitizing the stakeholders by doing parent orientation programs, debates, and educative flyers, clarifying the false beliefs through an open discussion will definitely bring about the change to step forward. Thank you, everyone.
Confidence on the smiling face you see today has a lot to say. Behind this was the tireless toil of parents, teachers, and of course the unsung struggle of a very own Just Youth. Let us have a glance at the 3-year journey from social inclusion to social integration of this child with Down syndrome studying in a school in rural Punjab. The study was undertaken to examine the effectiveness of the interventions on attention, expressive and receptive language, collaboration, intellectual ability, and adaptability. Delving into the world of colors and rhythm, Just Youth gradually gained confidence to look into the eyes while communicating. Through these joyful experiences, Just Youth showed improvement in his cognitive abilities. Regular speech therapy, occupational therapy classes, one-to-one teaching, use of audio-visual cues, and technology played a big role in helping him to comprehend and express. Just Youth developed physical agility and endurance in the playground where laughter is the soundtrack. The enriching experience of field trips and community connect provided Just Youth with opportunity to interact with those beyond the immediate social circle, and all these efforts bore fruit. The participation of Just Youth in the mainstream class presentation is a testimony to the progress that he has etched for himself through the constant endeavor of teachers and parents. दिल में जगाए रखना उम्मीद का दीपक, जमाने में खुशियां हम भी बांटेंगे। जारी रखना ये कोशिशों का कारवां, जमी तो क्या हम आसमां भी नापेंगे।
Adolescence is defined by the simultaneous physical maturation of both the brain and body, which leads to significant psychological and physical transformations. Amongst the various issues faced during this time, bullying remains one of the most prominent. During adolescence, the influence of peers becomes especially important. It is also a time when the risk of experiencing anxiety and depression goes up, and being bullied by peers can make these problems worse. However, school-based bullying can be positively addressed through a range of measures and strategies which all members of the school community can effectively use while dealing with bullying behavior. There are several strategies and steps are being taken in our school. We would like to share with you, and the first and the foremost is Bully to Buddy campaign, Nukkad Natak, and there's so many steps which we have taken to curb And you can see after survey also we have found a significant change in the mental health of children.
School-based bullying can be positively addressed through a range of measures and strategies that all members of the school community can effectively use against bullying behavior.
We are committed to creating a safe and caring learning environment for our students.
Greetings to everyone. This study where the student anxiety and their prospective career, which influences a lot the mental wellness of the students. So we have done a study in the perspective of our students in the school setup of Birla School Pilani, Rajasthan, where we consider few objectives why this study plays an important role. Because it assesses the high school students' anxiety level, identify the reasons for their anxiety, understanding the career concerns of the students with severe anxiety, and how the relation between the career and anxiety has to be. It affects the career selections of the students. Few research papers we have gone through where we find that student anxiety in the adolescent, how it's crucial for these days, how the career development during the adolescence plays a crucial role, how this anxiety has an impact on the career decisions, school-based intervention, some planning we have done where we interact with the students, socio-economic factors, students coming from the different backgrounds, different areas. The gap area, it's a prime concern, the need of the hour, where we find because a lot of study has not to be done. So a method we are using here, that is the demographic analysis, GAD data analysis, for the anxiety thematic analysis. A total student who participated in the study, among 72 were the male and 27% female. And total 21 of the survey students are found have GAD score very high. So reason for their anxiety may be the academic pressures, the low concentration, the peer pressures, the self-esteem, comparing with the others, maybe their comfort zone and the academic performance. So recommendation from the study explains that the high scope of for the further in-depth study, anxiety level and prospective career is not explored so much. So recommendations of the other studies which investigate effective strategies to deal with anxiety to improve the mental health of the students. Thank you.
Good morning, delegates. I'm Pallavi Raghuvanshi presenting a review study based upon the present social and emotional concerns of teenagers in India. The study particularly targets the transitioning phase age group students of grade 8 to 12 facing problems related to emotional and physical adjustments. The paper has highlighted 7 major concerns of students, including teasing and ridicule, social rejection and exclusion, bullying, anger and anxiety, non-academic performance-related pressure, academic-related pressures, parental pressure, peer pressure, and so on. The marked concern shows the struggle of a child. It shows the dominance of misunderstood feelings. Possible solutions have also been reviewed and mentioned in the study, some of which are already being practiced, like creation of formal committee to stop bullying and provide platform for reporting. Encouraging parents and teachers to appreciate the smallest possible achievements and focus on solution, not on the weaknesses. Motivating students to develop positive surrounding, increase the role of meditation and engagement in co-curricular activities, which have also shown the positive impact. I would like to conclude that proper implementation of remedies along with further studies to find a better solution to the existing and upcoming issues are required to ensure well-being of students. Thank you.
The Principal, Army Public School, Agra, Dr.
अभी कुछ पीपीटीज भी हैं। नेक्स्ट स्लाइड प्लीज। अभय जी हैं? नेक्स्ट स्लाइड। नेक्स्ट स्लाइड। नेक्स्ट प्लीज। थैंक यू अभय जी।
आप नेक्स्ट कर दीजिए।
नेक्स्ट पीपीटी प्लीज। ऑथर हैं क्या? पेपर प्रेजेंटर शायद नहीं है। टीएम के इफेक्ट को इन्होंने दिखाया है। थैंक यू वेरी मच। नेक्स्ट प्लीज। पेपर प्रेजेंटर हैं? ओके। पीछे बैठी हुई हैं वो। पेपर प्रेजेंटर को आगे बैठने की जगह थी, फिर भी पीछे बैठे हुए हैं। उन्होंने कहा है कि हम पीछे बैठ के ही सपोर्ट करते हैं। थैंक यू दीपा जी। नेक्स्ट पेपर। दिनेश मेहता जी हैं क्या? अच्छा टॉपिक लिया है आपने। ये मेथोडोलॉजी है, रिजल्ट्स हैं, केस स्टडीज हैं एंड कंक्लूजन है। थैंक यू। नेक्स्ट पेपर प्लीज। इप्सिता बरुआ। Is Ipsita available? Probably not. Okay. Great. एग्जाम एंजाइटी पे इनका काम है। थैंक यू। नेक्स्ट प्लीज। के माधुरी हैं क्या? आप लोग बिल्कुल पीछे चले गए सारे लोग, पेपर प्रेजेंटर्स। ओके। स्टूडेंट एंजाइटी पर इनका काम है। नाइस एफर्ट। थैंक यू। Meeta Vera. ग्लैड ये NIMH पहले NIMH नाम था, अब कुछ और नाम हो गया, नेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट फॉर द एम्पावरमेंट ऑफ पर्सन्स विद इंटेलेक्चुअल डिसेबिलिटी. ग्लैड इज very reputed tool and widely used tool in the field of learning disability. I am happy that you have used it. Great. आपका केस स्टडी है? केस स्टडी है? ओके. कौन है जिसमें कमी नहीं है? आसमां के पास भी तो जमी नहीं है. क्या बात है? नेक्स्ट प्लीज. ऑथर्स हैं क्या? ग्रेट. Thank you. Next please. प्रतिभा जी हैं क्या? Thank you. Next paper, please. संपिता जी हैं क्या? Okay. Okay. थैंक यू. और इस तरह से ये सारे ई पेपर प्रेजेंटेशन होते हैं. थैंक यू वेरी मच. अब मैं एंकर्स को स्टेज फिर से सौंपता हूँ वैलिडिक्टरी सेशन के लिए. थैंक यू.
Thank you, Dr. Jain. Esteemed guests and distinguished educators, it is with great pleasure that we begin today's valedictory ceremony of the CBSE National Teachers Conference 2023. This conference has been a remarkable journey of learning, sharing, and growth, where we have witnessed such immense dedication of educators and paper presenters from across the country. As we conclude the two-day conference, we feel privileged to have witnessed the amelioration of brilliant minds and diverse perspectives. This conference has further proved to be a journey of great learning as we delved into a plethora of themes, exchanged innovative ideas, and forged meaningful connections that I believe will definitely have a huge impact on our future endeavors. In the spirit of the conference, we have indeed transcended boundaries geographically as well as intellectually.
Good afternoon, everyone. I now take the privilege of inviting in our midst a distinguished guest who has dedicated her life to the cause of education. Dr. Ritarani Talukdar is a renowned and distinguished psychologist, academician, and researcher, currently serving as a professor in the Department of Psychology, Guwahati University. With a vast teaching experience of 28 years, Dr. Talukdar's area of expertise include cognitive psychology, clinical psychology, counseling psychology, and positive psychology. She is also a member of Board of Studies of Department of Psychology, Sikkim University, and Rajiv Gandhi University. Let us now please welcome her with a warm round of applause.
Very good afternoon to all of you. Honorable members, very respectable teachers from all over the country. It's really an honor to be amongst you all today. And really, I don't know what I'll speak. I'm at a loss of words. Because last 1 hour I was sitting here, and what I have seen is really brilliant work of the teachers of CBSE schools. And from my side, big round of applause for all the teachers for this brilliant research works which they have done. And what a nice presentation, the e-presentations which we have observed just now. Such a nice presentation, beautifully and so nicely they have made use of technology. I was just sitting with one professor near me, and we were discussing this, that oh my God, our knowledge of technology is limited only till PPT, but you know that school teachers, we have seen them, their knowledge of technology is also so high that I really like that idea that the presenter is also speaking while the content of the paper is shown behind. So that was really amazing for me. So today I'm fortunate to be invited to be present with you all for this valedictory session, and I have to begin by congratulating you all. At first I have to congratulate the organizers for organizing this national conference for the teachers of the whole country. It's a national conference where, as I heard, 900 teachers have participated and 700 of them have participated. They are present here right now. So what a brilliant show. I can really understand. And I should also congratulate all the participants for being here, and I feel proud that the Guwahati region, my Assam, my awesome Assam, has hosted this conference. I'm sure you loved these 2 days, and I'm sure it was a very fruitful and meaningful 2 days of national conference here at Guwahati for you all. So once again, congratulations to all of you. I feel, I got this invitation, I think day before yesterday in the evening. I got a call from principal ma'am, and she requested me and another teacher, Moitri, she knows me. So she was telling, ma'am, please, 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 you come. And at first I said, I'm very busy, I'm so sorry, I cannot come. Then again, 2-3 times when I got the call, I didn't feel like saying no. Usually I never say no. But then I had to say, because we all know, this is a mental health month for us, no? So yesterday also we observed the World Mental Health Day in our department, and then I get invitation from schools and colleges and other places as guests, so I have to go here and there. So I was so busy this month, along with, juggling between my classes, and we are also having our sessional test, so all these things. But then I'm sentimentally attached when it comes to CBSE schools, because I also did my schooling from Kendriya Vidyalayas, as my father was in the defense, and I did my schooling traveling with my father in many states of the country. So even my children, now they are growing up, and my children also got this opportunity. In fact, I gave them this opportunity. They have only for 1 year they were studying in Kendriya Vidyalaya. After that they were shifted to DPS. So they did their schooling from there. So that way I feel it's my responsibility and duty, and of course an opportunity to come and meet all the teachers from CBSE. So in these 2 days, I went through not only the theme of the conference, which is on guidance and counseling, and I also went through the 8 sub-themes of the conference, and I'm so happy and excited to see that there is so much. Of course, the topic itself is on mental health, but seeing that you have done so much research on all these areas, I have witnessed only this 28 papers which were presented in the e-mode. So now I have the curiosity to know. I don't know how many papers and which are the areas which must have been covered, because as Sir just now said that there were 100 papers, research papers received. So it's so good to see teachers so much into research. Usually we think that research is the job of only college teachers and university teachers, but it is really so nice. I did a lot of work in school psychology, in the school area, because I am a life member of Indian School Psychologists Association, and not only because of that, even my PhD was on school children only. I studied the cognitive development of the tribal children, and many of my PhD scholars, till now I have produced 16 PhD scholars, and many of them have worked on school children and of course college students also. So I feel school is a very essential or very important area where a lot of research should be done, because they are that is the foundation stage, and if that foundation is good, then their physical health, mental health, or their psychological health, everything will be good. And big salute to all the teachers here who are working with these children. I also started my career teaching in a school. I taught only for 1 year in an Air Force school, then for about 6 months in Kendriya Vidyalaya, Misamari. And after that, I directly started teaching in the Department of Psychology, Guwahati University. So as teachers, we all have various responsibilities, various roles to do. But our whether we are in university or we are in schools, our responsibilities and roles are the same, taking care of our students. And it is our duty to look after their overall development, their health. I'm again and again using the word health because this is the mental health month, no? So, especially their mental health, because we see most of the research papers also we have seen that there are a lot of mental health issues nowadays, especially with the adolescents, even the very young children. Like the very young children, the language development is delayed usually. Nowadays we see in the very young, because maybe the early exposure to digital world could be one reason because of which the language development is delayed, and also because both the parents are working nowadays. So being working mothers and fathers, they have very little time to give to their children, because of which also their mental health is affected, and many children land up with some mental health issues. So I'm sure in these 2 days you have learned a lot of things regarding guidance and counseling. So whatever I'll be speaking today is going to be a repetition, I'm sure. So already you are having a lot of information, and if I speak something, it will be information overload. So only thing is, I would like to say that as teachers, our main focus should be on the all-round development of the children, yes, no doubt. But we have to keep in mind, ultimately, what should be our focus is that we should try to produce a very happy student. We should know how to create happiness among children. One of the papers I also found someone has worked on happiness. Because ultimately what matters in life is happiness. Yes, along with that, and to make a child happy so that he grows to be a happy child, we have to look after his physical health as well as mental health. And definitely many ways of taking care of these two. We also have to focus on just 2 things: the self-awareness and the self-confidence of the students. And for developing self-awareness, there are so many psychological techniques. As teachers, we can try to identify the strengths and weaknesses of our students. If we can identify the strengths of our students, then we will be able to motivate them more, and they will be able to, they will grow up to be more confident students. And self-confidence comes from, of course, encouragement and motivation from teachers and parents and the supporting groups, and also from knowledge. And as teachers, definitely we are giving them the knowledge. And the third thing what I want to say is about guidance and counseling. One of your themes was on assessment. Psychological assessments, many psychological assessments are there to assess the needs of, especially the special needs of children. So I don't know whether each teacher, each one of you is trained in this area or not, because it is very dangerous to assess somebody. You cannot assess a student just by observing or just by looking at his behavior. You have to definitely verify by making use of a psychological tool. So if you are not trained well, I think you can, on your own, you can join some courses and learn some assessment techniques, so that will be helpful for you. When I was talking about identifying the strengths and weaknesses of your students, I also want that we as teachers also, time to time, should try to analyze our own strengths and weaknesses. That means we also have to develop our self-awareness. Know yourself, look into yourself, and try to understand what we are, which are our strength areas, and which are our weaknesses. If we can see our weaknesses, then we can work on our weaknesses, and we can become better persons, more efficient teachers. So that is a tip from my side. 3 little tips. So the takeaway message from these 2 days of your conference, maybe all your speakers, because you have already had so many keynote speakers also, and maybe on many themes you had keynote speakers, so you have already learned so many tips. But from my side, I would say that please take care of mental health also. Because not only physical health, mental health is also equally important. And when I say mental health, it is not only your students' mental health, your family members' mental health, but also your own mental health. Because if you are mentally well, your well-being really matters. Only if you are well, then you can spread the message, you can spread your knowledge, more efficiently. So thank you very much. And once again, I thank the organizers for inviting me to this valedictory session. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Talukdar, for that wonderful message of inspiration. We have arrived at a significant moment, which would be the distribution of the certificates to the presenters and, of course, the distribution of the best paper certificates to those educators whose research and contributions have stood out during this conference. Before we begin this segment, I would like to invite on stage Dr. Ram Shankar, Director Training Unit, CBSE, Dr. Sandeep Jain, Joint Secretary, Training Unit, CBSE, Dr. Jagdish Burman, Joint Secretary, Head, Center of Excellence, Guwahati, and Professor Pramela Thapa. And last, but certainly not the least, I would once again like to invite our special guest, Dr. Rita Rani Talukdar, back on stage. Before moving on, I would request Dr. Ram Shankar to felicitate our special guest, Dr. Rita Rani Talukdar. Thank you, sir. Let's take a breather for, let's say, 5 to 10 minutes. And within that span of time, I would like to invite, or rather keep an open house, for 5 participants who would like to come on stage and share their experience throughout the conference. And yes, before I begin, I would like to specially call upon Mr. Dinesh Mehta. He has been requesting me since yesterday. And sir, please come forward and do share your experience.
I kept my PPT so precise so that I can get 2 minutes. Very good evening. I know listening is a very difficult task. We have been listening because we as principals keep on talking. So when I was moving to this place, so I was having this choice to see it online as well, on YouTube also. But I made a choice to come to this place because yesterday also, if you remember, Dr. Hajarika was saying, something cannot be felt online. If you remember, one of our friend from Patna, legs were shivering. You cannot feel that energy online. there are many takeaways from the workshop. I would personally try to reflect a couple of them. One was how Dr. Hajarika and Dr. Thapa, both of them told us in their reflections that what is a clear difference between the best study practices and how to present a paper. Many of my friends have presented their papers, but most of the time we move to the kind of zone where we keep on telling that my school is doing something in a very good way. So how to present a paper, we've learnt a lot from her. And as I'm on the land of Shankaradeva, he said, we bow down to the preacher of humanity, love and harmony. See, in India, there are two things which are pretty common that everybody can do. Playing Antakshari and giving advice to people. On the name of guidance, we feel like, yes, this is something we can advise to people. So, as teachers, one of the bad practice that we do in our classes is preaching. So, if we stop preaching and we start listening, we'll make out huge difference. And one of the thing at last I would like to say is, the biggest mistake that we make as teacher is linking silence with failure. If you start asking them to share their experiences and start learning through communicating, debating, evaluating, discussion and planning, the life will be beautiful. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen.
I have already augured a bad name for shooing participants off stage. I would certainly not do that anymore.
Dignitaries on the dais, and all of my friends present over there. This is Rajiv Nayan Pathak, Principal APS Binaguri. I came here to learn something, and what I learned is that yes, there were so many papers presented over here. What I learned is that guidance and counseling, as we are doing for the students of classes 11, 12, it is very much essential for all those students who are there in class 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8 as well. Why so? Because in one of the slides it was shown National Crime Report Bureau. Our three of the presenters have used the report of National Crime Report Bureau that the maximum number of suicide is there who are at secondary level, and it is followed by the number of cases of suicide at the higher secondary level, and later on it gets reduced drastically. What in our teaching community, what we see is that there is no failure till class 8. We keep on promoting all the students starting from class 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. And then the students, they keep on passing whatever their educational level is there, whatever their intake is there. And suddenly there is a big bumper at class 9 and the rate of failure is increased. And UDAS Plus report says that 12.6% dropout rate, that is the maximum rate, is there at class 9th level. That's why all these things, what it reflects is that yes, we have to take some action to streamline the method of promotion to the classes 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8 as well, so that the system gets streamlined and there is no bumper at class 9 level and there is no another bumper at class 11 level. Because the stream is decided by the marks obtained in class 10th. We all know that there is a huge gap between the syllabus which is there till class 10th and then the syllabus at class 12. That's why the counseling is there required at class 6, 7, 8 as well. And there is a need to revisit the structure of syllabus which is there at 10th level and at 12th level. There is a huge gap. And yes, I want to say on this August gathering that the syllabus, reducing the syllabus from 1 to 8 is not the requirement, but the requirement is that to get to the point of syllabus where it is there at class 11 level, we have to streamline and to make the slope accordingly so that the student do not feel a big hill, the big bumper at that level. And this we have learned here, and thank you. I hope we all will see to it to reduce the number of suicide at the secondary level and at the higher secondary level. And to my surprise, when I saw the report which was there, the suicide case, it gets drastically reduced to 1.2 from 18 point something which is there for the secondary level to 1.2 at the graduation level and 0.3 at the management and the higher study level. So those who achieve that level of study, the suicide rate gets reduced drastically. So why can't we promote the students to study more and thus giving a full stop to the suicide? Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We are now ready with the certificates for the best paper, but we have two participants waiting to share their feedback. 2 minutes, thank you.
अंधेरा लाख बढ़ जाए मगर पहचान लेते हैं, अंधेरा लाख बढ़ जाए मगर पहचान लेते हैं, परिंदे दूर से अपना सजर पहचान लेते हैं, और वही स्कूल तो मशहूर होता है जमाने में जहां उस्ताद बच्चों में हुनर पहचान लेते हैं. Respected dignitaries on the dais and my dear colleagues, myself Bal Vikas Tiwari from DAV Public School Baryatu Ranchi. So far the experience what I have received from this National Teacher Conference is concerned, a lot of experiences there, positive experience is there, negative experience is there, but I would like to first congratulate COE Guwahati for such a wonderful reception and such a wonderful organization that they have made. And they have made possible, it's because of the effort, relentless effort rather I would say, by the CBSE New Delhi, and well coordination by COE Guwahati. In every aspect we feel very bowed, and we feel it's a kind of gesture you people have provided us, reaching from different corners of the nation. It's really recommendable. Last I would like to conclude and the fact that आज़ादी है अधिकार परिश्रम के पुनीत फल पाने का. I know that the CBSE, the nation is changing slowly, so the CBSE will also definitely try and think about the different approaches in the education so as to reach to that salvation. So I would like to say that आज़ादी है अधिकार परिश्रम के पुनीत फल पाने का, आज़ादी है अधिकार परिश्रम के पुनीत फल पाने का, आज़ादी है अधिकार शोषणों की धज्जियां उड़ाने का, गौरव की भाषा नई सीख भिखमंगों की आवाज बदल, सिमटी बाहों को खोल गरुड़ उड़ने का अब अंदाज बदल. Thank you, my dear friends.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, all the dignitaries present on the stage. I represent Chhattisgarh. I'm from DPS Balko Korba. I take this opportunity. Of course, we've all learned a lot. We've all gathered a lot. This was an eye-opener. We never knew so much was happening around us on such large scale. But I am using this platform to raise a cry we in the smaller states and in various small towns, our teachers were struggling because there is a severe paucity of trained counselors. We would like more opportunities to be made available near our places for our training, because we guide our children as untrained counselor. Each of us is a proxy counselor in our school, but we do not have the right kind of training. And then there's always a threat of, are we really doing the right thing? Are we really saying the right sentence? Are we really framing ourselves correctly and guiding our children in the right direction? That's one thing. The second thing is, we've discussed a lot about being bullied. We've discussed a lot about self-image. There are just two more things. Hopefully we'll be discussing the same again. We're talking about protecting the children who are being bullied. But I've always, 25 years of teaching, my feeling is the person who's bullying others needs more help. Let's start focusing on the bullies as well. They are the ones who need to be addressed. That would take care of a lot more problems. That's how I have always felt as a teacher. I'm not a counselor, I'm a teacher. I'm a coordinator, and this is the place from where I'm speaking. The other thing is, we've always felt that the children who are, maybe overweight or of a certain complexion are more conscious of their self-images. I have personally felt that the children who are very good-looking are more conscious of their self-images and need more help. And this may not be something that everybody agrees with, but this is something that I would like to talk about. I resonate with Neeti ma'am when she said navigating is like making a child color in boxes and then expecting him to be an artist. These children are going to be in professions that are yet not known to us. So let's just make sure that we are there, we are helping them out, and yes, like I said, we need help as well. Thank you so much.
So good evening everyone, good evening Guwahati. सबसे पहले मेरा नाम कुणाल शुभम, मैं बिहार पटना से हूँ. पटना CUE की तरफ से भी मैं गुवाहाटी टीम को धन्यवाद देता हूँ. और ऐसा अरेंजमेंट हमेशा होना चाहिए, इवन कि हर जोन में होना चाहिए. स्टीवन आर कभी कहते हैं कि योर आइडिया एंड माई आइडिया विल स्पार्क द थर्ड आइडिया. हम यहाँ आए, बहुत कुछ सीखे. 2 दिन के इस लर्निंग को शब्दों में बयान नहीं कर सकते, बट बस इतना बता सकता हूँ एक स्टोरी से. बीइंग ट्रेनर, जब ट्रेनिंग में हम जाते हैं तो एक बात अक्सर सिखाते हैं कि चीन की दीवार बनी तो क्या चीन पर अटैक रुक गए? नहीं, अटैकर्स आए, कुछ पैसे द्वारपालों को खिलाए, वो अंदर आए और फिर से लूटपाट किया और वापस चले गए. चीन की दीवार भी, जिसे बनाने में कई पीढ़ियां लग गईं, उसने भी चीन को नहीं बचा सका. क्यों? क्योंकि जरूरत थी लोगों को ट्रेनिंग देने की, अपने लोगों को सिखाने की, ना कि दीवार बनाने की. सो द इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग इज दैट ट्रेन योर पीपल, बिकॉज द ट्रेनिंग इज द इन्वेस्टमेंट, और वो इन्वेस्टमेंट ही रिटर्न देगा. CUE गुवाहाटी को इसके लिए धन्यवाद. हम पूरे भारतवर्ष से यहाँ लोग जुटे हैं और सभी अपने अपने तरीके से यहाँ आए हैं. अपने अपने कई जगह पर लीव नहीं मिला, कई जगह पर छुट्टियां फंक्शन नहीं हुई, फिर भी आए कि यहाँ कुछ सीखने को मिलेगा. और अलग अलग लोगों ने जो अपने रिसर्च दिखाए, अपने प्रेजेंटेशन दिखाए, और जो मैम लोगों ने जो रिफ्लेक्शन दिया और जो स्वागत हुआ, उन सब के लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. ये एक यादगार लम्हा था जो यादगार रहेगा. ये यादें ही साथ जाएंगी. और मैं चाहूंगा कि बाकी CUE जोन में भी, इवन इन पटना और दूसरे जगहों पे भी ऐसी चीजें अरेंज की जाएं, ताकि और भी लोग जो आज नहीं आ सके उनको भी ये मौका मिल सके. थैंक यू एवरीवन. थैंक यू सर.
Thank you, educators, for sharing your experiences. It is now time to distribute, rather confer, the best paper certificates to the deserving participants. The first presenter who's conferred with this award is Dr. Riya Das. I'm sorry? Could you give me the certificates, please? No, give me the certificates, please. Give me the certificate, those certificates. Dr. Riya Das had presented a paper on the sub-theme Use of Psychological Assessment Tools for Diagnosis of Issues. The next presenter is Ms. Sarada Chandrasekharan. She's not here. Could you accept it on her behalf? No, that's all right. Okay, moving on. The next presenter being awarded the best paper certificate is Ms. Irene Khosla. दीजिए The next certificate is being conferred upon Ms. Irene Khosla, whose sub-theme was addressing issues related to adolescence. Sure. The next certificate goes to Ms. Anupriya Pandey, whose sub-theme was prevention of suicides. I now call upon Ms. Neeti Mahendra, whose sub-theme was addressing student anxiety and managing prospective careers. The next certificate goes to Ms. Monica Chawla, sub-theme promotion of social inclusion. put your hands together for Mr. Arun John Missy. Sub-theme, facilitating education of students with learning disabilities. And lastly, but certainly not the least, we have the Certificate of Best Paper. Any guesses? Well, it's Miss Rashmi Malik for the sub-theme, Upholding Mental Health and Well-Being. I think the applause is too feeble. Congratulations. Thank you, dignitaries.
Now, I would like to invite Mr. Jagdish Burman, Joint Secretary and Head, Center of Excellence, Guwahati, as well as the Conference Coordinator, to deliver the vote of thanks. Mr. Burman has tirelessly worked to ensure the success of this conference, and his dedication deserves our appreciation. Let us give a big round of applause for Mr. Jagdish Burman.
Very good afternoon to all the respected members present in this August gathering. This is Jagdish Burman, Joint Secretary and Head Center of Excellence, CBSE Guwahati. Feel incredibly honored and privileged to stand before you in this gathering to deliver the vote of thanks to all the participants coming from different parts of the nation and abroad to make this CBSE National Teachers Conference a great success and a memorable one. During this warm and graceful afternoon, I would like to express my deepest regards and gratitudes to our Honorable Chief Guest, Srimati Nidhi Chibbar, Chairman CBSE, our guest of honor, Sri Bisharanjan Samal, Additional Chief Secretary to the Government of Assam Education Department, Dr. Om Prakash, the Mission Director, Samagra Shiksha Abhijan, who have added values to this conference with their esteemed presence. My special thankfulness goes to all eminent keynote speakers, Professor Komila Thapa from Allahabad University, Dr. Pallavi Borua Chaudhary from IIT Guwahati, Dr. Sarita Yadav from UNESCO, Dr. Prasi Gidial from Northeastern Regional Institute of Education, Shillong, Dr. Dimpi Mahanto from Cotton University, Guwahati. At the same time, I would like to convey my heartiest gratitude to all the eminent reflectors of these scientific sessions, Srimati Rama Sharma, ex-director CBSE Delhi, Dr. Meteli Hajarika, the clinical psychology experts from Guwahati Medical College, Guwahati, and Dr. Rohit Dwivedi, Associate Professor IIM Shillong. I am in fact happy to convey my sincere regards to all the directors of SCRT and their representatives of the entire Northeast states, including Sikkim, for their esteemed presence and support. I am extremely thankful to Dr. Ram Shankar, the Director Training, CBSE Delhi, for his continuous guidance and sharing a meticulous idea in the process of planning and executions, generosity in being available to oversee in person the entire process of the National Teachers Conference at Guwahati. I would like to convey my sincere thanks to Dr. Sandeep Kumar Jain, Joint Secretary, Training CBSE Delhi, and his esteemed training team comprising Sanjeev Srivastav, Sudesh Gulia, Thushara, and Praveen for their enormous contribution within the organization to make this conference a great event. I would like to render my heartfelt gratitude to the Director, NIOS, the Regional Deputy Commissioners, KBS Guwahati, the Deputy Commissioner, NBS Shillong, for their esteemed presence and support. I would like to convey my special regards to Dr. Rita Rani Talukdar, Department of Psychology, Guwahati University, for his valuable speech and her esteemed presence to this conference. I highly appreciate and acknowledge all the learned principals, worthy teachers, the anchor teams, the IT members, the cultural team, the report writing team, and my dear friends, and who gather here to have a bless to this conference with their active role and valuable presence. I am so grateful to the organizing core committee members for their wholeheartedly support to this conference in making a memorable one. I also convey my special gratitude to Dr. N.K. Datta and Srimati Purnima Mehra, the President and Secretary respectively of the Guwahati Sahodaya School Complex, for their continuous support and cooperations for this conference. Finally, I would like to express my deepest sense of appreciation to each and everyone present in this gathering. I wish you all a wonderful and blessed afternoon ahead. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, sir. Now, to conclude the valedictory segment, I invite everyone to please rise for the national anthem of our great nation.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उज्जल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Respected educators and esteemed guests, with this we conclude the valedictory segment of the CBSE National Teachers Conference 2023 as well as the two-day conference. The Teachers Conference was a resounding success, fostering collaboration, professional growth, and a shared commitment to educational excellence. Engaging discussions, insightful perspectives, and networking opportunities have enriched our collective knowledge. We leave inspired and motivated to impact students' lives positively. Until next time, educators, let's unite for a brighter future. Namaste. Dear participants, a last announcement. Your certificates would be available online, for which you need to log in with the same ID with which you had registered yourself.